The storm rolled in as she stepped off the ferry, rain pelting the docks and turning the horizon into a curtain of gray. To anyone watching, she looked like just another traveler, worn leather jacket, duffel bag slung over her shoulder, boots echoing against wet planks. But her eyes told a different story. Eyes like that didn't wander without purpose. She walked straight toward the naval checkpoint with the calm stride of someone entering a grocery store, not one of the most secure installations in America, Naval Base Coronado, home of the Navy SEALs. The guards noticed immediately. A civilian moving with such confidence was always a red flag. "Ma'am, stop right there," one called. She didn't stop. Slowly, she reached into her jacket and produced a battered military ID card. The name read, Lieutenant Rachel Cross. The guard frowned. "This expired 3 years ago. You can't." Before he finished, 2 MPs closed in. One pressed a hand to his earpiece, his face hardening. "That's enough," the taller MP said, gripping her arm. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for impersonating a naval officer. Specifically, a SEAL. You have the right to remain silent." She didn't resist. She almost looked relieved. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. The room smelled faintly of bleach and damp concrete. Across the steel table sat Commander Briggs, a career Navy man who wore skepticism like armor. "You're telling me you were a SEAL?" he asked, leaning forward. "You, Rachel Cross. We've checked every roster. No female has ever served on a SEAL team during your claimed years. None." Her hands were cuffed, but her voice was steady. "That's because those records are buried deeper than your clearance." Briggs smirked. "Convenient. You know, we get fakes all the time. People read books, learn the jargon, even get phony trident tattoos. But you didn't slip once. That's impressive. But impressive doesn't make it true." She stayed silent, eyes drifting to the one-way mirror. Someone was watching. Hours later, just as MPs prepared to transfer her, the door opened. An older man entered, Admiral Jonathan Kane. His uniform was immaculate, his chest heavy with ribbons, his presence like a storm contained in human form. The room shifted. MPs stiffened. Briggs shot to his feet. "At ease," Kane said. His eyes locked on her. "Remove the cuffs." "Sir, she's," Briggs began. "Now." The cuffs clicked open. Kane circled her, voice low. "Roll up your sleeve." She did. Ink glistened under the harsh light, not a standard SEAL trident, but a rare variation, known only to a handful of operatives. Kane's face tightened. "That mark is authentic." Briggs blinked. "Sir, what are you saying?" "I'm saying she isn't impersonating anyone. She is who she says she is." Her name hadn't been Rachel Cross when she joined. Back then, she was simply Ray, a 19-year-old from Detroit who enlisted to escape a dead-end life. Through raw determination and uncanny instincts, she was pulled into something that didn't officially exist, Project Revenant. A covert experimental team designed to test if extreme SEAL training could be applied beyond traditional boundaries. No records, no public acknowledgement. Their missions were buried in classified archives. Their victories never made headlines. Their scars never earned medals. Until the mission that ended it all. An insertion gone wrong. 2 teammates killed. Ray barely survived, and when she woke in a military hospital, she was told her service was over. Her very existence was erased for operational security. Back in the interrogation room, Kane dismissed Briggs and sat across from her. "I thought I'd never see you again," he said quietly. "I wouldn't have come if I had a choice," she replied. "What happened?" "One of ours didn't die that night," she said, steady but grim. "He was taken. Chief Mason Ward. Alive. I've been tracking him. The intel's solid. If we don't move now, he dies. And worse, the information he carries will put every SEAL team in the crosshairs. Kane exhaled, rubbing his temples. This revelation could topple carefully maintained lies. But he trusted her. Once, she had saved lives when no one else could. By nightfall, they were airborne over the Pacific. Kane had quietly assembled a skeleton crew, men he trusted absolutely. They didn't ask questions. They just loaded gear. Ray moved among them like she'd never left, briefing on terrain, entry points, escape routes. The plan was surgical, halo jump insertion, 20-minute extraction. She knew better than anyone, no plan survived contact. The jump was perfect. Night swallowed them as they cut through the wind. On the ground, they moved like shadows, slipping past patrols until they reached the compound. Inside, Ray took point. Camera disabled. Guard silenced with a blade before he could breathe. Every move was instinct. Every step a memory. And there he was, Chief Mason Ward. Beaten, bruised, but alive. His eyes widened. Ray. I thought. No time, she cut his restraints. Move. The escape wasn't clean. Alarms blared. Floodlights slashed the dark. Bullets tore through the night as they fought toward extraction. Ray's shoulder burned from a grazing shot, but she didn't falter. She would not leave another behind. By the time the helicopter lifted, the compound was chaos below. In the cabin, Mason leaned against her, weak but alive. Didn't think you'd come. You would have done the same. Back at Coronado, there was no report. No briefing. What happened would stay buried, like her career. At the dock, Kane waited. You could stay, he said. I could make it official this time. Reinstate you. She smiled faintly. The world isn't ready for me on paper. He handed her a small box. Inside was a real SEAL trident pin, heavy and gold. No records, Kane said. But this says what files never could. She closed the box, nodded, and walked toward the ferry. Rain began to fall again, but she didn't mind. Some truths don't need headlines. They only need to be remembered by those who know.